Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome for another episode of Off the Spotlight. Hey, it's your host with the most, your main man, Darren M. Palmer, Chief Book Officer, Self-Published in 30 Days. Excited to be with you. Where I get the honor and the privilege to go behind the scenes with best-selling authors from around the globe. Today, we have on my girl, the queen herself, Karmen Rubin. Say hello, everyone, Karmen.
Hi, hey Darren.
Awesome, awesome. We're glad to have her on. For those who are tuned in, you'll be able to get more details about Carmen in the show notes. But I just want to start off hearing it from the queen herself. Share with the people a little bit about you, Carmen, if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, thank you again for this opportunity, Darren. It's always good to catch up with you. Just to give you a little background of me, I'm Karmen Rubin. I'm a native of Louisiana. I currently reside here in Texas, DFW area. Been here a little over 6 years, loving it. The majority of what I do lies within the nonprofit industry. I have a heart for people and others. Recently started my own consulting firm. I also contract my services out. And launching my new passion project, the Goody Network, which is the platform that I've launched my very first children's book, The Adventurous Shoe Through. Outside of all of my accolades, I am a woman of God, faith first, and then a mother to a beautiful 10-year-old Kyle. So I am just living life, and of course, just putting all of the passion first and towards others. So that's just a little bit about me. In my spare time, you can find me serving somewhere in my community.
That's amazing, Carmen, when I hear you share that. And for those out there, I got to dive in immediately for those who are listening out there. It's hard to hear Carmen talk and keep sitting back talking about what you can't do. Or as we say down south, I'm gonna give y'all a little southern slang here, what you fixing to or what you finna do. Now
What
that's
you
not proper
finna do?
English there, but I want y'all to get that understanding. To hear her being a mother, to have a career, have businesses, helping nonprofits around the world. See, this is the key, but she understands the importance of legacy and moving forward on that. And just hearing um, what you do on a daily, even we can't even share it, it'll be in the show notes of some of the things that you've done before. I know some of the other people don't know. I know others are wondering, why did you go this route for the first book, Carmen?
Oh, great question. I love sharing that. And a lot of people ask, first book, why children's book? To be honest with you, I didn't grow up with the love of reading like many others. I came from a household where I had a dynamic single mom who worked a lot. I can be honest, we didn't want for anything. She instilled in us the value of hard work. But we just didn't get that love. I did well in school, don't get me wrong, but I just did it when I needed to do it. And that was the one thing I wanted to change when I became a mother. And so I set a ritual from when my son was in the womb. I started reading to him, and I started with children's books. And the thing I love about children's literature is that it sparks and it inspires imagination. It keeps that imagination alive. And so I slowly began to see, by the time my son was 5 years old and he had his own entire library, I knew the importance of keeping that ritual in that time, because what you do when you read, no matter if it's a children's book to a novel, you're investing in that other person's life. And so that's why I chose children's literature, because it made me fall in love with reading. And now I read a minimum of 30 minutes a day. It's something that I'm reading, and I know the importance of it. If you look, we're in a state where we have one of the lowest literacy rates. We're in the bottom four, Texas, right here. And in order to improve that, we have to start with those adults, and they consider those 15 and above, inspiring that passion for reading and inspiring them to share it with others. So that's why I started with children's literacy, and that's what I want to continue to push forward, because it starts there. If you start early, you're just creating a pathway to success.
And it's amazing, Carmen, when you share that. And I know people debate about it, they go back and forth, but some have shared with their statistics or whatnot of the direct correlation between the penal system and the literacy rates or whatnot, as far as how someone is reading, just like other contributors or whatnot, factors as far as, a father being in the home or in the life of a person, because someone can
Right.
be there but not be there. So that's involved. So I just think it's honorable of you to take this route to make a change. So for those who are listening, I got to pull out another gem from the queen herself. Hey, let's understand the importance of being solution oriented.
Yes,
solution
yes.
oriented. Karmen saw that, hey, wait a minute, there are some things, hey, nothing against anybody. They did the best that they could do. But what I'm going to do is use this as a catalyst to provide an opportunity to not just talk about it or complain or come up with excuses. I'm going to actually give people
Right.
something tangible to hold on to. I'm going to not have excuses. I want to change it for the next generation. And let's look how she went even further with this process by not just for Kyle, her son, but also she said, hey, I want to impact others. I'm going to do what I need to do in my household. But at the same time, if I can utilize what I know to be beneficial for someone else, I'm going to do it. So that leads to being selfless. For those who are desiring to be an author, or you're looking at serving on another level, it has to go beyond you. Yes, take care of you. I understand that. But it's important because you will get to a point when you're doing the book, whether it's investment, whether it's time, whether it's illustrations, whatever they look like for the type of genre or the type of book that you do, where it's easy to give up. That's why we have a slogan that we or a saying that we have in publishing that the best books are in the local cemetery because people never did get around to do it. So, Karmen, share with us too. Give us the mindset that you had to be able to push through challenging times in the process to continue to move forward so you can get the final product with you being an author like you are now.
Oh goodness, Darren, you are on a topic that I love. You know that saying, nothing worth it comes easy. That's the truth. In fact, when it's most important and it's most worth it, I feel like I get more challenges. And so it wouldn't be a process if it wasn't some hiccups. But in those moments, you have to dig deep. And that's why I go back to true self, true authenticity. We're living in a day and age where you can get on social media, you can get on any platform, and it's so easy to see others. But in order to put yourself there, you got to start with you. And that's the key. So I'm a person, I'm a planner, I'm a processor. I like to say my life is full of a roadmap that I was able to just check off boxes, but you can't just continue to study. That's just a guide. You have to embrace that. And you have to know your strengths, you have to know your weaknesses, and you have to be able to allow self from you, my team in Houston with self-published 30 days, all the way to a connection I made years ago, a graphic designer out in LA, and then going through a process of trying to weed out illustrators, something as small as that. But along the way, there's always some type of opportunity that you can tap into, and just you'll look up and it'll be done, and then you'll be like, oh wow, how did I do that? And so being able to be prepared, to have those goals written out, to understand you and your limitations, that's what's going to get you through. Because at the end, you're right. It was so easy for me to stop. It was so easy for me to say, I'm done. I look back and quite honestly, the investment of time, financial resources, and others' time, you have to realize you're not only making your dream come true, I'm making my entire team's dreams come true. And so that's what kept me going. And that's what continues to keep me pushing forward with this platform and my first project.
I'm telling you, Coleman, that's good like Campbell soup, girl. I'm telling you, she's dropping it on us with the value bombs, the understanding of the whole team, and also the power of partnership. I see so many, and this goes and this transcends beyond just books alone. If it's somebody who's out there and you got a nail salon, or you or a stylist and you do hair, and somebody else who can do massages, if you are paying different rents and putting different deposits down, if you can find a way to connect with people so you all can share some of that responsibility, to be able to allow for you to get out the red quicker, to be able to grow your bottom line, these are opportunities. If it's a nonprofit, you don't have to start a nonprofit every single time. You might can find a way to partner with a nonprofit that already have invested the time, the resources, and did the beta testing. They can get to the people that need to be taken care of quicker than it being all about you. So once again, that selflessness of what Karmen has done with putting this book out, it transcends not only for this present date and time, but also it's something that's an extension of her legacy of her life for generations to come. So no matter what the platform it is, Kyle, some of them, maybe his kids or grandkids, they might have just a screen just pop up if they just think some or whatnot, but they'll be able to look back on like, wow, look, our family, this is who we are. So there's no limitations. It's, hey, the sky's the limit. We can break through that if we want to. So I want those who are listening, understanding the importance of being able to partner with people, because you hear the things that Karmen is able to get done in the way she is so productive, is she understands team building and cultivating relationships, whether it's in Houston, whether it's in LA, and being able to get through the minutia of those who might not be a good fit. Nothing against anyone, but it might not be a good fit for her. So I see some of you out there, you're limited on what you can do, not because you don't have the potential, but it's about I. And so you're trying to do the designs. You're looking on the community college website trying to figure out. You're getting on Udemy trying to know how to edit everything. You have to release that. And Karmen, could you speak to the people about the power of delegation? Because you're already more of a leader and a servant leader and a boss type, so you get that. Can you give people a couple of tips on how to delegate so they can get more done?
Yes, absolutely. Delegation was, I will say, one of the lessons I attribute to a former supervisor of mine. It was the hardest lesson I had to learn because I'll be honest with you, Darren, I'm pretty dynamic on my own. I was used to working by myself. You give me my caseload, I'll go out and do this. I'm responsible for my goals. I'm not going to let anybody else stop me. But it wasn't until I started to get pushed into leadership within my organization that I had to learn the power of delegation. And when that came, I mean, my world just opened up and I just continued to excel and succeed, because what it does is it allows you to develop that other person. And that's how I look at delegation, because yeah, you can do it all day long, but there's a such thing as burnout. And there's a such thing of you don't know and you are not polished in everything. You have strengths, you also have weaknesses. You find those persons that delegate those opportunities that where their passion and their strong suits are, and then you find that sweet spot and it balances out. What I've learned, even now working with this process moving forward, I can provide all the tools in my direction. It's up to them to help me bring that vision to reality, because they're just as much as a part of this as I am. And when you allow that, that's when you create magic. So delegation is key. It starts with you, again, being prepared, because if you're prepared enough, you're able to present enough. And if you present well and you give the direction that's needed, the person can't do anything but be successful if you give them that authority to be successful. People with authority always do their best because they understand that you believe in them. And that's what delegation starts with. You're telling the person that you believe, you trust that they can do it, and that you know that it's going to be a success and that you're there as a support if needed. And so that's how the process of delegation works for me. Even though could do it and do it well, I have to focus on other things. And so when I'm able to delegate those tasks out, like I said, I'm investing in someone else. I'm making sure I give them that authority to do a 100% in the job that's been delegated or tasked out to them.
Awesome. I don't know if y'all heard that, but my girl said if you prepared enough, you'll be able to present enough. Come on, somebody. I'm telling you, my girl I'm telling you, she's like Alicia Keys. She's on fire. All right, now we got to move on. We got to move on with this episode, but I'm telling you, connect with her. One thing that I love about Karmen is that she's right. She's a dynamic individual, but the empathy part. And I don't want those to miss that. She, like you said, she serves in the community. She's a giver. And I think that she still keeps her aura for us. I can be intelligent, but I can uplift others as well. I can put a crown on somebody else's head as well. And I think that we're missing that in society, whether it's men or women, kings or queens, that we have to be in our silo or we want our own little territory and we can't show love to somebody else. And I think part of the success that Karmen has been able to have is because she doesn't mind lifting somebody else up. And for some of you out there, I think some of the issues why you might find yourself plateauing is because you don't understand that it's the power of team. And not just that, even if someone is not a part of your team, I can still applaud for you. I can say still kudos to you. I can still find a way to add value. I still can connect you with someone. And, and Karmen, where does that come from, you believe, as far as your ability to be able to uplift other people?
You know, Darren, that's if you my pen name is Miss Goody Two Shoes herself. A lot of people don't understand that term. We've used it out of line for years, but if you understand the true story of Miss Goody Two Shoes, you'd understand that's who I am through and through, and that's who we all are who are wanting to do for others. The real story of Miss Goody Two Shoes goes back to the 1800s. It's about she was actually an orphan. She had nothing. Her parents were considered homeless. They would be gypsies as of today. They were literally go out, beg for money, what any type of resources or services they could get. One day, Miss Goody Two Shoes, she's about 8 years old, standing there with absolutely no shoes on. A rich man comes by and he just sees a need and he wants to fill that need. He goes out, he buys her a pair of shoes. The young girl is so excited, she starts running around saying, I got two good shoes. I got two good shoes. Hence the name Miss Goody Two Shoes. Now, although she just realized she was just excited for getting two new shoes, she automatically started to build haters in the community, because what she didn't realize is that this rich man had went out and bought her the most expensive pair of shoes in town. Now, what seemed to her just a need being met, he just saw a need and he was meeting it. Money wasn't an option for him. And so that's the storyline, that's the platform. Oftentimes what we see, we don't even have a clue what we're witnessing. We're witnessing this girl in this moment, this orphan girl getting her first pair of shoes, yet we're judging them by the price. And that's what we have to stop in this society. So when I say Miss Goody Two Shoes, that's who I am through and through. I see a need, I want to meet that need. I see somebody else who wants to meet a need, no matter what, how much money you have or how much status you have. There's always a way to serve others. And that's what it's about. Until you get out of self and you start serving others and bring them along, that's when the doors of opportunity opens, not only for you, but for the world.
Man, I'm telling y'all, Karmen is something else. I'm telling y'all, y'all don't sleep on Karmen. Y'all gonna hear this name all over the world. I'm telling y'all. I'm just so glad to be a part of the process and just see what all God is doing in your life. And that is so true. We find people, the same story with the Miss Goody Two Shoes, and don't understand this person is celebrating the moment, not trying to think of themselves more than they are. But we have to move forward. You can't not, if you've been blessed, don't not, you can't stress over your blessing because someone else is making you uncomfortable because you was blessed, and so just keep that in mind. And I want to dive a little bit while we're on the Miss Goody Two Shoes. Let's talk a little bit about the book.
Yes.
What do you want people to take away from the book, if you don't mind, Karmen?
Okay. The book is designed to really start inspiring that exposure key at a young age. It's tailored to children between the ages of 0 and 5, and it's entitled The Adventurous Shoe. The subtle message in the book, it's about a young shoe that takes a journey, of course, one of life mishaps, that everyday reality of a child losing a shoe. But while the shoe is gone, it takes a magical journey. And at the end, it'll be a little surprise on where the shoe ends up. But the subtle message is that you're going to go everywhere in life. You're going to go all over this world. You can go wherever you want in life if you have imagination, because imagination turns into dreams. And when you have dreams, you can begin to make them come true. And that's when reality sets in. So it's designed to spark that imagination, but also your shoes are the one item that's going to take you no matter where you go in life. And so the adventurous shoe. So that's the message behind here. We want to start resonating that message early, and that no one path looks the same. Although your path may end up here in the US, some may end up in Europe, Africa, all over the world, you name it, to understand and respect the importance of others' shoes, their pathways, and be able to have imagination and dream. I don't think we do that enough, or we don't realize how much we do that enough as adults, because we get so stuck into the day to day. But what we don't realize, about 40 to 60% of your day, you're actually daydreaming. That's imagination. And if you can imagine it, you're going to dream it. And if you can dream it, you can make it come true. So that's the message behind The Adventurous Shoe.
That's amazing. And speaking of that process, just being with you, to me, it got a special place in my heart because you're practicing what you're preaching here. Because I remember when you had the idea in the raw form, it's nothing like what you see now. Those who are seeing the book, it's easy for you just to look up and like, oh, I get it. I understand. I totally get it. But she had it in a raw form. Like, I'm imagining this. This is my desire. This is where I want to go. This is where I want the impact to be, the whole nine. And me, you had that special moment, just been a look like, wow, look at this journey from before the pandemic, during the pandemic, this dream, just as you talked about earlier for us, the imagining part or whatnot, and then dreaming it. And now all of a sudden it's a reality now. And me, you experienced that, and some other people experienced that
Mm-hmm.
moment. And I think that's important. But share with the audience, what does it mean when you're holding the book in your hand now, knowing, wow, this was a thought, and now here it is. Put that book up. Let's look at it.
Yes, this
Awesome.
was a thought, but to see it come to reality and to feel it and to see it honestly, Darren, it's not just me holding it, but when those pictures started flooding with kids holding it and smiling, my heart, it gets me every time. They don't know what that does to me, and for one mother to say she's expecting, she said this is going to be my child's first book. Oh my gosh, like how amazing of a moment was that? Because all you can do is imagine it. But I can tell you, Darren, without a shadow of a doubt, I couldn't have done it without a team because they helped bring my vision to life, things that I didn't even know I was looking at, because we're just one person. But when you bring others along, you become a movement. And so that's what this means to me.
That's amazing. Now, I know people, I don't want anyone to have to go and repent on Sunday because I didn't give them the opportunity. Please share, where can they purchase the book?
Yes.
How can they follow you? Social media handles, website information, whatever you have. We'll have it in the show notes, but I want you to share it with them for those who are listening right now.
Sure. The book is called The Adventurous Shoe. You can go and purchase a copy either there, theadventurousshoe.com, or please go to my personal platform, The Goody Network. That's The Goody, Goody network.com. You'll be able to learn a little bit more about myself, my journey, as well as the mission of the Goody Network and how you can get involved. I am also on all social media platforms. On Facebook, we actually have the Goody Network page. You can follow my page as well on Instagram, the Goody Network, or just at Karmen_L or Karmen Rubin. Honestly, if you Google me, I'm sure there's a ton of stuff that'll come up. That's Karmen with the K, Karmen, then _L, Karmen Rubin. So you can find me on all of the social media platforms.
Awesome, awesome. And I want to do something special for the first 5 people, that show and send us a screenshot that you follow her on all those platforms or whatnot. And if you do that or whatnot, y'all just reach out to us. We're going to purchase and get some giveaways to the individuals who screenshotted. And if you know a little kid or someone who could benefit, or if you got a daycare or whatever who we can touch people with, we want to make sure that we make an investment and get 5 books and get them out to you. But you got to screenshot, you got to follow on the Goody Network, follow the information in the show notes, so we can follow, so we can make sure we get that information out to everyone. Now,
Darren,
Carl,
I'll give an added bonus on that.
go
If
ahead.
you follow, and then even if you purchase a copy, that automatically enters you into a drawing this month for a pair of adventurous shoes. So we know the little logo theme, whatever your adventurous shoes. So I'll actually throw that in as well. You'll get entered into a drawing.
I tell you what, let's do this, because I know some people. I'm glad you said that. We're going to change the rules.
Okay.
What I want you to do is to go follow and purchase a book. If you purchase a book, I will send you another book and I will put you in a drawing for $250.
Look at
So
that.
that's how we'll do that. You
That's
know what I'm
it.
saying? We can
Love
play
it.
without works is dead. So that's what we'll do. If you purchase a book and follow on all the platforms, we will go ahead and send you another book and put you in a drawing for $250. That's how we'll do that. But Carmen, it's been a pleasure to speak to you. I want to be respectful of your time, but I want you to share it, because there's someone out there and they're saying, man, it's great. Carmen, she's a brilliant woman, amazing mother. Um, but I don't know if I can write a story. I don't know. I have a background like Carmen, and I want to share my story with the world, but they don't know if they should. Could you speak to that person?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would say to that person to be still. One of the best places you can be sometimes is not knowing what's next or where to be. And to be honest with you, it's in those moments where you tend to listen to yourself more, and you can drain out the negative. You can drain out those who love you, who are only going to feed you positive, and you can tap into who you truly are and be still. Be still for a moment, gain that intellect from yourself and from, to be honest with you, the higher source, our Lord. He will speak to you clearly. And once you get that, I guarantee you, you can't go wrong. So I would start there, be still, be silent, listen, and be open to hearing. And then you will be able to start and you'll have that authenticity. It's not about knowing it all, it's about having the faith to go forward.
What a wonderful episode. We truly have been blessed to be in your presence today, Queen Karmen. Thank you so much for coming on. Remember that we have the drawing for the $250 for those, and plus additional what Karmen has brought up. We'll make sure we have all that in the show notes. Look for Karmen to be a part of other programs and events that we're doing. Also follow her to see whether she's having book signings, virtual events or whatnot, to be able to connect with her and the Goody Network. So once again, thanks again, Karmen, for coming on.
Thank you.
Also, for those who are tuned in, remember that this is the year for your new book. Until next time, be blessed and be great.